Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Burke. I'm substituting for our usual chair, George Riley, this evening. It is Wednesday, February 12th, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Our first item of business is to take action on the draft minutes of the unofficial meeting of January 8th, 2025, and the January 17th meeting, 2025. Just as a reminder, the January 8th meeting, for those who are unaware of why it was unofficial, is that we did not have a quorum that day, but we had some residents, some cases here who wanted to speak to us, so we convened for listening to them and did not take any official action. With that, I'm sorry.
Wasn't it that we hadn't been approved?
Oh, you know what? I apologize. We had a quorum. We had not yet officially been renominated. That is correct. Thank you for correcting me. So I don't know if you've had a chance to review the minutes, but may I have a motion to approve?
I'll second that.
Okay.
Just in the way of, before we vote, just in the way of background, these minutes were created using ChatGPT, looking at a transcript of the meeting as recorded by TV 79. And I looked at them and they looked pretty close to B. Mr. Ference, however, noticed that there was an egregious error on one of the numbers on the page in one of the other versions, not the minutes version, but we were only off by $900,000. But thank you very much, Mr. Ference, for catching that. But I believe the minutes version, I gave you a summary version. I gave you how ChatGPT would create a local news story, a summary of the tone of the meeting, just in terms of background of what this technology can do. But best as I can remember these meetings, the minutes look accurate to me. So.
Yes, I think it's a fantastic use of that technology. The minutes were illuminating. And with that discussion, let's vote to approve the minutes of January 8th and January 17th. All in favor, please signify. Aye. That's 3-4, none against. Those minutes are approved. Our next item of business may be to go into executive session. I see that we have a representative of someone who's on or of a property that's on the list. So would you like to go in executive session to discuss that matter?
Yes.
All right. We'll go on to executive session, and just may I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's. May I have a motion to go back to regular session?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are back, and the next item is to review the status of the listed properties. So let's commence that. And we'll listen to what Mr. Ference has to say.
Thank you. So normally I take all my pictures for the meeting the Monday before, but this week I took them on Saturday because I was concerned with how much or how little snow we were going to get. So all these pictures were taken on Saturday.
Very well.
So first is 16001, and no changes at this property.
All right. This is a property where we had stopped fines previously upon the representation of the owner that it was going to contract or that a sale was imminent. Have you heard anything to confirm that? Any contracts, any communication about from a status? point of
Nothing at
view?
all.
All right. Unless the other members have questions for you, I would, propose that we restart the fine, process. If you have any questions for Frank?
Is that what you're, even though we're in foreclosure
Yes.
proceeding?
Yes, because one, the proceedings haven't been filed yet, and two, that doesn't stop the
May be
file
resolved
yeah,
anyway, yeah.
from accumulating.
So fines would, excuse me, fines would start as of tomorrow, because she's already been notified that fines were going to start. And we suspended that because of a promise of a sale.
Right. All right, and again, that's not to say that it couldn't be resolved if the property is actually sold, but let's restart with the fines.
All right.
Do you need a motion, Mr. Chairman, to do that or not?
I think we could just tell, but let's, are we in agreement on
Yes.
restarting
Yes.
the fines? Okay.
Okay. All right. Next is 17011. And there are no changes at this property.
All right. And what is the current fine status?
Sorry.
139,600.
Well,
And conti-
the liens are 121.1.
Right.
And if you add on the fines that have accumulated since the last lien, it's a total of 139.6 as of today.
Right, so when do we last file the liens? I know we tend to do it like once a quarter.
No, I think it's about once every 6 months, and I think we're at that point again now.
All right.
Let me see. So the,
August 13th of '24.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
so we're actually past that.
All right. Well, if we're in agreement, let's have you refile the, or amend the lien to include the recent accumulation of fines.
Okay. Next item is 17019. And no changes at this property either. This vehicle, which was going to leave, I believe it was 3 months ago at our meeting that we were told that. It's still there, and it has been there since last February.
Did it move at all, do you know?
I've looked, when there was grass growing around it, I could tell that the grass wasn't bent over, so it hadn't moved. And I don't see any evidence that it's moved in the snow.
Were those Vermont plates on that car?
No. I black out or
Okay.
white out the plates and the sign and the addresses so that
Great.
we don't give any information that we don't want to.
That's fine.
And
Whether or not it's actually registered, I don't know. But there is a plate on it.
we've never filed a lien on this 17,800, correct?
Correct. So I think we should do that also.
I agree, if unless there are any objections. All right, so why don't we file the lien on that?
Okay. Next is 18004, and nothing has changed on this property.
And the fines are obviously still accumulating, correct?
They are.
And when was the last time we filed the lien on the,
August 13th of last year. So you
well,
want to update
unless
that one?
there's an objection, let's file the current lien.
Okay. And this is a view from the post road. Now that the leaves are gone, I can see through the trees. So
Good.
this is what the neighbors on that side of the property see.
Sorry, are we still on 18?
Yes.
Yeah.
004?
18,004.
Okay. Yep, all right.
All right. 21001. This is the other property that the selectmen have voted to foreclose on the lien or liens, and there are no changes for the last 3 months.
Okay.
The backyard's still overgrown. And let's see.
This was another one where the latest lien was filed in August, correct? Right.
So would you like to update that?
Unless there's an objection, let's do that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Oops. Next property is 23001. And no changes here. This is the garage, which continues to deteriorate as far as I can tell. If you'll recall, last month, the owner's son appeared and said he put up a fence so you couldn't see this. Well, I don't see a fence.
No.
So I don't, maybe it blew over. I don't know, but it wasn't there on Saturday.
And the reason he was putting the fence up was to try to, I don't want to speak to his motivation, but maybe it was his aspiration that a fence would stop members of the public from the street from seeing the blight, which is part of the definition of a blight.
Correct. Ooh, where am I going?
Is there any reason that we can think of why not to now initiate fines?
He told us he was going to try and get someone to demolition. And
Right.
either get the, I guess he was getting the quote.
I think he got a quote, and I think we asked him when it would be done, and he said sometime in the spring.
He was hoping
And I
for
believe
April.
the chairman said March, and he acquiesced that March might be a realistic target.
Right.
But they finally agreed on April.
They agreed on April.
Yes.
That was what he promised us?
Correct.
Or said at the last meeting?
Yes. So they were not notified that fines were going to start, so we would have to do that and then start them 30 days from when they receive the notice.
So, all right, then I'm just calendaring this in my head, which says about 100% chance of being inaccurate. But if we discuss this again in March, and then we voted to do fines, they wouldn't start to accumulate until April, which is when he thought he would have it done. So maybe we'll give him 2 meetings to give us an update. But can we have a communication to him that it's very important for him to keep us updated as to
Yes.
status?
Of course.
Can we tell him that we will start fines again in April if remediation has not been taken?
I think you could tell him that, be accurate to say that we will reconsider the initiation of fines at our April meeting unless we've obtained a positive update from him.
Okay.
All right. We'll make a note to revisit this at our April meeting.
All right, and then this is the this is from the school property, looking down on the garage roof and the side. It's it looks to me as if it's deteriorating over time.
Almost like it might collapse on itself.
It very well might.
Well, that would expedite the demolition.
It would.
But then it would need, well, would it need to be hauled away? Because that's probably part of the, significant part of the cost. Right?
Sure.
What would the argument be, if any, to not commence fines or give them notice, give them the 30-day notice?
I think they've I think they've gotten plenty of notice, and if you wish to start the fines, or reconsider it at the April meeting, then they would start paying the fine, or they'd be charged the fine starting sometime in May.
All right, unless there's an objection, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Those are, first selectman is fond of saying, anything else for the good of the order?
Well, there's one more on the back.
Wait, oh, we did not? I thought that was the one I just,
No, there's one more, 23004.
no, I apologize. Oop, very well.
So, no changes here. I don't know what they're waiting for, but I think they were given 6 months by zoning to get to a certain point. So I would expect to see something happening soon.
Actually, via my real estate, I have learned that they are trying to sell this with a pocket listing as land.
Oh,
So maybe nothing, I'm guessing they are trying not to do anything further, but to find a buyer.
But meantime, the blight continues.
Right.
Indeed.
and they are not being fined.
No.
Well, because they were working on it
Yes.
and had that lawyer come and on and on.
Right.
I think we should start fines, Mr. Chairman.
Let's commence that process.
Okay.
Although, yeah.
So those fines would start.
I mean, I can follow up and find out more on that from the broker who sent out the notice.
Do you think it will sell just as a piece of property?
It was listed at a quite reasonable price, so perhaps.
Mm-hmm. All right, then let's put that in the hopper to
I'll
initiate
try-
fines.
I'll try and find out more.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Well, let's see, other than misreading having misread the chart and misidentified the reason why we had an informal meeting, I think we should probably end this meeting before I make any other mistakes. So
Yeah, you did fine.
with that,
I'll give you a motion to adjourn.
all right, I'll second that. All in favor?
I-
Aye.
All right, and we are done. Thank you,
Believe me,
everybody.
We all appreciate your willingness to step in.
That's fine.